again everyone, this is Natsu. In this video, I'd like to share the advice I wish I had when I was a complete beginner in English. To be honest, I'm quite confident about this video because I've got strong evidence, which is my own experience. In case you don't know me, I was born and raised in Japan, so I studied English there, yet I was lucky enough to live in an English speaking country. Now I'm in Australia. That means I've had two phases in my English learning journey. Because of this unique experience, I've come to understand what usable English skills actually mean. And that's exactly what I'm going to share with you guys. This video is for beginners, obviously. However, I would highly recommend it to anyone who feels stuck in their English learning journey. As always, if you have got any questions, comments, please let me know. I would love to hear what you have to say. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you're more than welcome to as well. Alright, let's get right into it. When we think about learning English, the first steps that come to our mind would be things like studying vocabulary or like memorizing phrases and all that. Of course, those things are essential. I would say it's the foundation. But if you want to be fluent, I mean, more than like broken English, which let you get the job done at least, then I think you need to go through them eventually. However, what I want to share in this video is something different. I mean, otherwise it's going to be quite boring. What I'm going to show you today is some skills that will absolutely help you in the long run. Long run, I said, guys, but is often overlooked. So now you have to understand that what you're going to do from now, I mean, at least after finishing school, what you're going to develop is going to be a little bit different, but you have to get used to it. The first easy step that you can start from today is it's okay to put on Japanese subtitles. It's okay if you don't understand everything, but increase the amount of time that you listen to English sounds. So now, stop. Wait a minute. Some people might be thinking like, yeah, I understand that, we need to listen to English because we need to improve our comprehension skills. Well, it's actually more than that. So please give me 5 minutes. Please hear me out until the end. So, okay, now why do I recommend it? I mean, it's one of the basics, but why do I want to push it, especially for beginners? Now, before we dive into the main point, I want to tell you guys that I personally believe it doesn't matter what you watch or what you listen. I honestly feel a bit annoyed by all those recommendations saying like, you have to listen to Ed Sheeran for an English learning. Friends is the best show. I mean, I've watched Friends, I've watched all the episodes, but in many cases, when you ask those people like, hey, why do you recommend Friends specifically? They say, oh, because it's full of humor and it's funny and it's about friendships. But then how about How I Met Your Mother? It's a great show too. Or like Two Broke Girls. I absolutely love this lady. She's gorgeous. Or how about New Girl? All those three, they're about friendship and sometimes romance and dramas or everything, right? So if you like Friends, go for it, but I don't really feel like I owe my English skills to Friends. Now you can see that, everyone is different. And if you don't like Ed Sheeran's music, then it's a waste of time. So it can be anyone, like Sabrina, Ariana, I don't know, like whoever you like. I think you shouldn't get really stubborn with like what to use. So then, okay, why do we have to increase the time of listening? Rise and fall. So the flow of English. And I strongly believe it's not about logic. It's not something you can learn from school or from textbook. This is something eventually you have to learn with your body. This is only possible if you just do it. And I think it's overlooked because it's not a formula. It's not like 1 + 1 = 2. But I found it really fascinating because language is not about logic, our body and feeling and sense and all that. And to get used to the sound of English, you just need to get used to it. It's easy if you think about people who are learning Japanese. When you listen to them speak, you can often hear their native language in their Japanese. This is often mistaken for a pronunciation issue, but I think it's more than that. I think it's happening because Japanese words are sort of carried with the rhythm and flow of their native language. And do you know what's hard? It's hard because that flow is in their body. Or you can imagine the same thing could happen in English. If you don't speak English like a native speaker, learning the pronunciation rules or like those symbols and all that, unfortunately, it is not enough. When we speak, what comes first is going to be the flow of Japanese because it's in our body. To change that, at least to modify it, we need to hear English heaps. Some people might pick it up easily, like quicker. For some people, it might take time, but I think we just have to do it. No like shortcuts or anything. If you're not convinced yet, I've got another example. This phrase, I say when I think about it. So now pronunciation is going to be exactly the same. I mean, at least correct, but I'm going to say it differently. When I think about it. When I think about it. They sound completely different, don't they? Then, okay, did someone teach me the formula? No. Or did I find any textbook? No. Since I started listening to MJ when I was much younger, and it started from Gilmore Girls, I started watching when I was 15. And what else? Like it came from Vines, good old Vines, internet memes, and YouTube, TED Talks, and all the YouTube videos and TV shows and all that. So through hearing it again and again, spoken naturally by different people, I think that skills, speaking English naturally comes to you. And I repeat again, you don't have to understand everything, because to be honest, even now when I watch TV shows, I don't understand everything. But still, I know that it's gonna benefit me. And this is something we have to do constantly anyway, not only for English comprehension, but for your speaking skills too. Okay, second tip. If possible, be in the group of people who speak English as their second language. I don't think many people recommend this, but this insight comes from my own experience, so I highly recommend it. I can say this with confidence. A huge amount of my inspiration around English came from them. I'm really grateful for them. Like if you've got a similar experience, I'm pretty sure you agree with me. When it comes to improving English, we tend to overlook these points. Number one, the courage to make mistakes. Number two, the courage, again, to say things that are not in textbook, however, feel true to you. And lastly, again, the courage. It's actually the most important thing. The courage to prioritize communication over correct English. When I look at learning English culture sort of thingy, in Japan, objectively, I can feel that native English is kind of like worshipped. Like, I mean, nothing wrong with them, but one thing I learned over the years, and I hope you guys, especially as a beginner, I want you to know that any English, like spoken by anyone, it's got a value in it. Whether it's spoken by a native or a non-native speaker, English has value. It's already beautiful. The reason why I'm telling you is because I want you to free yourself from this fixed mindset. Don't underestimate your English, because you might be a beginner, but it doesn't mean like you're not worth it, if that makes sense. Actually, I've got two reasons, like more like specific reasons. First, because both sides genuinely try to communicate. You do your best, to listen, to be understood. So that effort itself improves your English ability. And second, because we are both learners, we can relax. You're gonna feel safer to make mistakes or to ask questions or not understand everything, which is actually possible in conversation with natives, but we often get nervous for some reason, right? And again, some people might be thinking like, oh, what if I pick up the wrong accent? Okay, then how can I explain? Okay, how about I finished Dairy Girls a long time ago on Netflix. Now, am I speaking with an Irish accent? No. terrible impression. I watched Fresh Meat, Bad Education, Lovesick, what else? Mighty Bush, The In-Betweeners, and The IT Crowd, or like Office. Alright, do I talk like a Brit now? No. It's also terrible, isn't it? Anyhow, so Now, probably I'm the proof, right? I had so many, more than like 10 colleagues from Colombia. Am I speaking English with Spanish accents? I don't think so. I want to tell you that I understand the concern. I used to think the same way, to be honest. However, if you're still not convinced, what I can say is, at a certain point, because you are a beginner, when your English improves, this time will definitely come when these worries like simply stop bothering you, like accents, level, which phrase, which book, which school, or even like a class or something. Now it's hard to explain because 10 minutes is not enough. Someday, the things you think are important will no longer be important to you. And hopefully that's what I've been sort of sharing in my videos. I would call it a language learning philosophy. So the more you learn English, the more you find the philosophy. But honestly, again, interacting with non-native speakers, only in a good way, I think it gives you a lot of insights about like a real, like strong, powerful English. So I really, really want to recommend that. Okay, the third tip. Instead of passively memorizing words and phrases, make it a habit to actively ask yourself, how can I say it in English? And look it up. I would call it active input. I assume, most of you guys are Japanese speakers, I guess. So there's one thing that we cannot change. That is, we naturally think in Japanese. It's actually beautiful. Like, it's not something we should be ashamed of. For example, we want to say sumimasen, like instead of like excuse me, right? And then we naturally say like one apple, one sheet of paper, what else, like one person or something, using different counters for different things. And then we often place the predicate at the end of the sentence. And I don't think it's realistic to erase your memory, erase Japanese brain and start from scratch. But what we can do, especially as a beginner, like plus because AI is getting more handy. What we can do is, whether you're thinking of something, like it doesn't matter, like vocabulary or just a phrase or sentence or whatever, try to think like, okay, how can I say it in English? And if you don't know it, just look it up, pop it on ChatGPT and absorb from it, not only from textbooks. Here's the thing, you want to take a balance between like input, like more like a passive input, like reading textbooks or doing vocabulary book or apps or something, and active input. So what you want to say starts from you. For example, there is a simple sentence in Japanese. 意見を持つことはいいことだ. And then you might go like, okay, at least what I can say is opinion, 意見, 持つこと, having, いいことだ. A good thing or like a great thing or whatever. Then, okay, let's make a sentence. And a lot of people struggle with this. Having an opinion, having opinions. Okay, how about it's a good thing to have an opinion? My opinion, opinions, right? So many questions pop up. And then if you ask ChatGPT, they said it's good to have your own opinions. So sometimes it's not a literal, word-to-word translation, but it's a good thing to learn now. For example, here, opinions, there is S here, because it refers to opinions in general. Usually, it comes with plurals. I tell you, simple things are the hardest things to say in English. Who agrees with me? And looking back my own experience, like reading so many textbooks and, sentence, memorizing all this stuff, I think example sentences, they were okay, useful, but actually kind of, playing with it was not easy. In real life, you don't really use the exact sentence. So now, if you've got the tool, handy tool, AI, why don't you start it now? If you've got a question, ask right now. I know you've got so many questions, right? Probably you want to stop waiting for a textbook like telling you everything, because actually they do not. I forgot to tell you this. The best thing about this is the English you learn is going to start from what you want to say. So the English you're going to learn is going to be more practical, active, and personal. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by clicking the like button. And if you've got any questions, comments, actually, if you are not a beginner, at least like you have done a working holiday or studying abroad, please let me know, like, what's your tip? If you could say something to your younger self, what sort of advice would you give? Please let me know in the comment section. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you're more than welcome to as well. Alright, I see you in the next video soon.